We're in it, gang. A historic shift is unfolding all around us. The fall of globalism, the rise of a new conservative age, and I explain exactly what's happening and why in my most important book yet, America Awakened. This book gives you the full picture, how we got here, what it means, and what you need to know to be on the right side of history. So don't wait. Go to americaawaken.us and join the early access list today. The next chapter has already begun.
No! Let my people go! Let my people go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go!
What you are witnessing is the most spectacular political self-destruction in modern American history. And it wasn't Trump who caused it. What if I told you that in a single weekend, the American left managed to shoot an innocent bystander at their own peaceful protest, run over their own activists with cars, and expose themselves as the very authoritarians they claim to oppose? This isn't just about protests gone wrong. This is about the intellectual and moral bankruptcy of an entire political movement that has lost the capacity for rational thought. Stay with me, because what you're about to see represents nothing less than the death throes of American left as we know it. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, applying serious political and cultural analysis to the complete chaos consuming the American left. So if you're ready for an analysis that cuts through the noise with surgical precision, subscribe now, because this is the kind of intellectual honesty that terrifies the establishment. Speaking of terrifying, why don't we go back and check in with that protester versus the truck?
Hey, get off the truck! Get off the truck! Get off! Let my people go! Let our people go! Get off the truck! Let my people go! Come on, y'all gotta move! Y'all gotta move! No! You won't take my people! Don't take Stop! You're gonna run her over! Stop! You're gonna run her over!
Carissa, you gotta go!
I'm talking to you!
Stop Carissa!
Let my people go! 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 No! Let go!
Dang! I mean, seriously, it actually gets worse than that. I needed to give you a break from that screeching. We'll check back in with her in a moment. But as you can see, these are the people that the legacy media is desperately trying to convince you are mostly peaceful, when in point of fact, they're nuts. They're certifiable lunatics. That woman does not need a psychiatrist. She needs an exorcist. Again, we'll check back in with her in a mere moment, but obviously she's hardly alone. The far left in America today is suffering from a severe case of collective insanity, or what sociologists call collective delusion, when entire groups lose the ability to process information that contradicts their worldview and thus lose touch with reality. Now, of course, that's bad enough, but then what we're seeing here is that collective delusion is manifesting itself in these protests involving what cognitive scientists call moral licensing. And moral licensing is the phenomenon where individuals who perceive themselves as morally superior to everyone else, they feel justified in committing acts that they would always condemn in others. So they're imposing on us acts and antics that they would normally end up condemning themselves. Like, who among them would tolerate a motorist cutting them off on the highway, let alone a bunch of people blocking their cars? But you see, when you convince yourself that you're fighting fascism, any level of violence becomes not just permissible, but actually morally imperative. So this is what's called moral licensing. It's a double standard. And as you just saw, the broader American population has had absolutely enough with this. We're beginning to see what we might call the rise of FAFO doctrine. That's F around and find out, as the national patience for these antics has been completely exhausted. And that's exactly what that lunatic versus the truck just found out. Wait until you see this. But first, speaking of someone who doesn't take woke crap, Joe Rogan's known for his MMA fighting, being in extremely good shape, doing quite well health-wise at the tender age of 56, 57. Now, if you remember, he bounced back from COVID-19 in like 2 or 3 days, so he takes very good care of himself. One of the supplements that he's mentioned and he's talked about is NMN. Now, rather than me trying to explain it, I'm going to let the doctor that discovered it explain it, and then I'll tell you some of the other effects that he doesn't mention in this short clip.
I also take supplements, and in fact, most of my colleagues are in the field of aging, or anti-aging, as people call it. So I take NMN every morning.
What is NMN?
Good question. So let me take a quick step back.
Sure.
So about 20 years ago, Lenny Guarente and a team of us at MIT discovered a set of genes that controls aging. And what they do is they protect all organisms on the planet, plants, bacteria, humans, from deterioration and disease. They're like the Pentagon. They sense when we're hungry, sense when we're exercising, and they send out the troops to defend us. And so we think that these genes are responsible for the effects of dieting and exercise, which is great. What that means is we can now mimic that with molecules.
I love NMN, gang. I take it every single day. You get improved energy, weight management, endurance, strength, anti-aging. Check it out for yourself by clicking on the link below. I mean, there are tons of videos on YouTube by people who've taken NMN 1, 2 years. They talk about their blood tests. They talk about the studies that have been done on it. It seems everybody who takes it, they feel better, they feel stronger, they have more energy. And the single best NMN out there comes from our good friends over at Black Forest Supplements. Seriously, I love this. I take it every day. Check them out by clicking on the link below. The other supplement that goes hand in hand with NMN is called resveratrol. It's Black Forest, of course, has both of them, but NMN is going to be the one to kick it off with, firing off what's called your NAD+, which is a coenzyme in all your cells. It starts debilitating after you turn 18 or so. So that's at least in part why we get the pot belly, the creaky knuckles, why you got your wrinkles. Well, this works towards undoing all of that. So click that link below, and for the next 48 hours only, you can take advantage of their buy 2, get 1 free offer, but that's just for the next 48 hours, so don't wait. Click on that link below right now. The footage coming in from LA, Chicago, Seattle, New Jersey, it all shows a remarkable phenomenon. Working class Americans have simply stopped tolerating the performative antics and disruption that has characterized leftist politics for the past decade. So the intellectual significance of this shift simply cannot be overstated. For years, progressive activists operated under the assumption that middle America would indefinitely tolerate having their commutes disrupted, their businesses threatened, and their daily lives held hostage to various ideological causes. What that truck and other car-related incidents reveal is that this social contract has been unilaterally terminated. And the fact that those protesters were shocked by this response reveals their fundamental disconnection from the reality of how normal people think and behave. Speaking of, let's see how things turned out for that woke lunatic versus the truck. Are you noticing how symbolic this whole scene is? The truck represents history. The world is moving past this now defunct ideology of leftist liberalism. And the woke left, who convinced themselves that the arc of history was moving inevitably towards progressivism, they simply cannot cognitively process the reality that history is actually moving past them, consigning their incoherent woke worldview to the ash heap of history. What we're witnessing represents nothing less than the intellectual, moral, and strategic collapse of American progressivism as a coherent political force. A movement that began by claiming to defend democracy is now actively standing in the way and seeking to frustrate Democrat norms. We're observing what happens when an ideological movement loses the capacity for self-reflection, self-correction, and basic competence. Ironically, the woke left is being defeated not by their opponents, but rather by their own inherent contradictions. If you recognize that we're witnessing a historic realignment in American politics, one where the left has abandoned any pretense of democratic norms while conservatives have become the defenders of basic civic order, then make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this analysis. The intellectual frameworks we've explored today will help you understand not just what happened, but why it was inevitable. We are indeed at a turning point in American politics, the end of an old liberal era and the beginning of a new populist age where competence, rationality, and respect for Democrat norms will ultimately determine who governs. Make sure you're on the right side of that equation.